So when we look at the creation mythology of Geb and Shu, the atmosphere deity, and we look at the crossing of the eastern border of the Pacific across to the western portion of the Pacific, this new world, when we look at, we have to understand when we look at what took place of this complete genocide, man, in Tasmania, in this Australoid region. When we see these people that exist from the extension from 150 degrees west of this landmark of Sagittarius all the way to this sprouting of the air of the sun. We understand the sprouting sun and this land of the Orientals in the Orient, in Oceania. We understand okanus and ocanan and the ocean in this portion of the Pacific of the ocean region of the ocanus. When you look at this great sea and ocean and navigation coming along the tropics or along the processions of the sun, and these regions, these landmarks of connection of this great circle with the 30 degrees east of so 150 degrees east forms this great circle. We have to understand about the Mason. When we look at that time of the great circle of this 30 degrees east, this is in the region of the Nile Valley. So we have to understand this mirroring and this twining of the building of this buildup. When we understand the cornerstone and this chief cornerstone and this coming around this cornerstone and what takes place of this chronicling of this phenomena, what takes place in this winter solstice in the night, and being in this region in the eastern border of the Pacific, you receive the night first in the evening. So the evening begins here in these lands of the Indies. So we understand the Indies of the West Indies and the East Indies, and this Pacific Ring of Fire, the East, Ishun, and this beginning of the Sagittarius, the Bering Strait, straight to the center of the core. We understand the Korites and the Horites and these people that dwelt in the polar circle. When we look at this time of Orion and the northern lights, the winter solstice, and the lighting of the sky and the different feasts, these things were to mark the beginnings of the crossing of the first year, the first corner of the crossing, a 90-degree angle, the Yamin, from the beginning of fall. So this is the completion. We're going to see the completion of the first seasoning. So this is the first marker of the first quarter. So this looping from this period of the autumn into winter, and this also on another form of chronology, also when we look at the solar mythos, on the lunar, it is the beginning of the new year and the first quarter of the year. But in the solar, this is the ending portion of where it's chronology of the sun setting and sun rising. And here we have these lands being known as the Orient and Orion. Significant with this month and this time of the Sagittarius. When we understand the mighty hunter, when we look at the archer and the arc of this covenant, this bond with this 30 degrees east. So we understand this covalent bond of this meridian 30th degree east and this great circle with 150 degrees west with the Sagittarius. So when we understand the sage of Taurus, this region here where we see the Tropic of Cancer, which is in the region of 0 degrees, when you see May, understand the May suns and this time and this connection and with this buildup in this first quarter of this crossing from the fall into the winter, and this chronology of the ancients, when we understand the measure of these tropics and the Tropic of Capricorn and the winter solstice. This is the southern crossing. And we understand death into light, the beetle, the great basin, Deborah, the covenant,